This week on It's Too Wordy, more Mystery Month! Welcome everybody to this week's episode of It's Too Wordy, the comic book podcast where three buddies discuss comic books from their childhood and today. I'm Kirk.
Nick.
Ryan.
How we doing this week, guys?
Spectacular.
Awesome.
It's kind of hot and shitty outside right now, huh? Summer's here.
Yeah, it's great.
Walked through Walmart today. I felt like I was going to catch on fire. So this week, we're going to be discussing Batman Last Night on Earth #1 and Identity Crisis by Brad Meltzer and Michael Baer. We'll go ahead and start with Batman Last Night on Earth. What'd you guys think?
It's a Batman story.
Yeah.
Well, I like Elseworlds, and this reminds me of those old Elseworlds. So I kind of dug it. I kind of hated it.
I am tired of post-apocalyptic storylines. Why does it have to be post-apocalyptic? I get why they're doing it, because the story is basically Batman discovers that he knows he's gonna die one day, so he just clones for each generation, right? So every generation has a Batman. So I guess we fell upon Idiocracy's version of Batman, where it's post-apocalyptic. Not saying the story was that way, but it just, I don't know, I'm just tired of post-apocalyptic. I like the storyline. Couldn't they have done it without putting it in that time frame? I did like Joker in the bucket though, the lantern. I did like that. Joker was my favorite part of the whole story, because he's always like trying to tell him this poem, and he's like, shit, what was that again?
It confused me a little bit at the beginning, but after we got going, I really started enjoying it. I forgot how much I enjoyed the writing and the art of these two, of Scott Snyder and Capullo.
It's fantastic.
Because they did that whole New 52 run, and it was a fantastic read.
Yep.
So it kind of brought me back to that. I enjoyed that part of it. They do with this Black Label, it's supposed to be kind of like what Vertigo was supposed to be. The whole more adult themed storytelling. And I've really enjoyed the Black Label stuff. You know, they did the Batman Damned. They've only done 2 issues of that, and that was magazine size, actually.
Cool.
And I thought that was pretty good. 3rd issue still hasn't appeared yet, but we'll see. And this one, I thought it was alright. I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but...
That's my only nitpick, is that it's in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
I loved the art. The Joker was my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the artwork. I love the writing. I love the premise of the story. It's just, did we really need to have him come awake in this barren wasteland type of place?
Yeah, they probably could have done a little bit of more work on that, but, you know, it is answering a question I've always wondered. How is Batman still Batman all these years?
There you go.
So it is kind of filling that in. And like Nick said, this is very Elseworldish feel, and I love all the Elseworld stories. No matter how horribly bad they were, I just enjoyed them, and that's what it feels like.
How about you, Nick?
So I'm going to bet next summer, or even starting this summer, we're going to see a lot of cosplayers dressed like this Batman, because it's not that hard. Straight jacket, bat helmet, and a belt. So with a W, you know, it's just going to be so many cosplayers out there like, oh, well, I can't pick one from a movie, but I'm going to pick this one.
Yep.
Well, actually, cosplayers have to read comics, so that's going to be a difference.
Oh yeah, they like to do movies only.
Maybe they'll find the picture online and decide to do that way.
Anybody got a pattern?
Yeah. I mean, come on. I need a PDO file for this bat cowl. Anybody got that yet? No, it's been out for a day. Where's my PDO file?
Nick sounds a little bitter.
One thing, okay, I like the Joker in the Lantern. I hate the Green Lanterns in this. That is the dumbest. Okay, so the power battery is on Earth.
Yeah.
And Mogo's dead.
Brainiac took him out.
And the lanterns are just random people not worthy to hold the rings. So they're just wackos.
Okay, I forgot. I was like, where are the Oh, yeah, it's the crazy people making... Yeah.
Yeah, you know, giant green babies.
Green babies and stuff like that, yeah.
So the content of the ring had to changed in some manner for anybody to just pick it up and do whatever they want with it.
Right, so that means Oa. Where's Oa?
Yeah. Maybe they'll address that in future issues, but clearly I mean, we've seen issues where Arrow couldn't even operate the ring.
Right. So just random people out in the middle of nowhere can use the rings now.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman got a haircut.
Yeah, she's trying to be Storm.
All Storm, Captain Marvel. Nice shaved sides. It's very...
I guess that's DC's version
Aerodynamic.
of post-apocalyptic haircut, too.
It's very electronic dance. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it, yet I didn't. So, it's mediocre.
Okay.
For me, you know. We'll see where it goes. I'm kind of excited to see where it goes, you know.
I'm excited as long as every book isn't $6.
They're going to be.
Are they? Fuck.
This is their premium line. But I mean, look at the amount of pages you're getting.
Yeah,
You know, I don't remember.
That's true.
There's no ads in this, right?
No.
Nope.
No.
So I mean, you're getting
yeah,
money out of it.
I guess it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it if there's no ads and it's actually the story continues to be good. It'll be worth it to me.
I'm just happy there was no Batwang in this.
Yeah. And this is Snyder and Capullo's last run on Batman together.
Yep.
Might be nice to have in the collection.
So what do you rate it?
I'm gonna give it 3.5.
Yeah, like I said, it's mediocre, so 3.
3.5.
All right. But we all want to get the next one to find out where it's going, right?
That black label. Anytime that black label's on it, I'm picking it up.
Okay.
You just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's Bane and Scarecrow next issue, so...
And it looks like they're combined.
Yep, looks like they're attached to each other. Or is it Scarecrow's just riding his back? It doesn't look like his claws are in him.
Post-apocalyptic, they could be infused together.
They could be. He could be attached to Bane's ass.
Master Blaster!
That's what I was trying to think of.
All right, let's move on to my newest favorite trade paperback. I read it a couple months ago, and it's still up there with my favorites. Identity Crisis by Brad Meltzer, Rags Morales, and Michael Baer. I'll have Nick go ahead and start us off on this one.
So this is a story where Elongated Man's wife gets killed, and they're trying to find out who did it. The whole Justice League, the JSA, the Teen Titans, the backups, as they call them, all are trying to find the killer. And then it evolves into not just Sue Dibney. Sue Dibney gets killed. And then there's a hypothesis by Jimmy Olsen that's like, what if it's not just her? What if it's the wives? What if it's the families?
Yeah.
The friends.
Yep.
And then, Lois Lane gets a note that's like, you're next.
I know who your husband is with the Superman logo as the S. Yeah.
And Clark goes nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, so then it turns into like families are getting killed.
They go after
Tim Drake's dad.
Yeah, I spent the whole book thinking it was somebody else. And
who did you think it was?
I can't remember. I'm flipping through trying to remember who I thought it was.
Dr. Light?
Yeah. Did Jason Todd make, or is that Hush?
That's Hush. That's what happens when you read a lot of comics in a short time.
Yeah, I didn't think it was who it was, though. I thought it was Booster Gold. Just kidding.
I read this when it came out, so rereading it was like, oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I forgot how brutal this book is. Like,
Yeah.
Dr. Light comes up on the JSA satellite and rapes Sue, and then the JSA come along, or the Justice League come back, and have Zatanna mind wipe him into a goofy crap character.
And the Justice League that we're referring to is Hawkman, Atom, Zatanna, Hal, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Black Canary, Batman. Superman and everybody else kind of went someplace else. I love this story.
This story's awesome. I may read it again this winter.
It's another one I read.
I just can't read it
once
right
a
now
year
because it's still, without me not remembering who I thought the killer was.
Yeah.
It's still fresh, most of it. And you get to see an old Boomerang.
Yeah. And Green Arrow's kind of the detective in this one.
Yep.
It's kind of focused from his perspective. It's not
Batman.
Batman's involved, but
He's involved,
it's not, everybody's trying to do their part, but it's from Green Arrow's perspective, and I love that.
Yeah, it was. Is this the one where he asks if they put trackers on all of them? Or is that a different one again?
Different.
Damn it. Too many comics, guys. Too many comics.
This is where they mind wipe Batman, and they're talking to Superman, and he's like, Superman only hears what he wants to hear. And he's like 3 feet away from him, just like talking out loud. And he's like, Superman just hears what he wants to.
Yep.
They're like, maybe Bruce does know that he's been mind wiped, but he's just going to go along with it.
Yeah.
He knows there's a reason why, but he's just going to put it away and not worry about it.
And the original Justice League that did this was Barry and Hal, and now Wally and Kyle are the new Flash,
Yeah,
new Green
Flash
Lantern.
Green Lantern.
So they get wrapped up into it, and they're trying to figure out what's the right way to handle this at that point. So they kind of go into Wally's perspective a little bit as well.
Yeah, the art's fantastic.
There's one panel that I cannot stand.
Which one?
It's
Is
above
it the Batman?
why we need Superman in the newspaper.
That Superman.
And Superman looks like he has an elongated neck.
Yeah,
So it looks like elongated man.
So bad. Like the rest of it is gorgeous, but that one spot.
I knew you were going to call out that one.
It's like,
Yeah, I agree. That's the only one I don't like either. But the rest of this is phenomenal. Brad Meltzer has actually made me start wanting to read his books.
I love his books.
Good story. I did think it was the Atom. That's who I remember thinking it was. I thought they were going to do something where he was the killer, and then they kind of did, but we can't give away the endings here because you got to read it yourself for the first time. I want to give it away so bad.
and what's cool is Hal Jordan shows back up in this, and this is when Hal's dead, and he's the Spectre,
He's the
and
Spectre, yep.
him and Ollie have a really nice moment together where he's like, he puts the Spectre away and they actually have a conversation to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, when are you coming back? Oh, I'm
What do you
working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You know what I mean. Yeah. But with him being the Spectre, he's also the
Spirit of Vengeance.
The Spirit of Vengeance. And he knew who did it, and he's like, I can't answer to everybody. I've got a higher power that I have to answer to. And so he wouldn't even give away who it was and left it.
Yeah.
So he knew that there was a reason why Jack Drake had to die.
Yeah.
And Jack Drake has to die, and the Spectre's not going to stop that from happening.
No.
And if he told them, that would have happened, and Robin would probably stay at home with his dad.
We would have had a whole Legends of Tomorrow kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they go back and tell all the people they love that I am noticing about that show. Oh, I can save my dad. Goes back and says, "Don't just be careful when you're over there."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like you're messing with the time continuum. Haven't you seen Back to the Future, you stupid idiot?
And Captain Boomerang finds out he has a son.
Yep.
Can't remember.
Who becomes the new Captain Boomerang, right?
Yeah, he does become the new Captain Boomerang. I looked it up to see who the wife was, or the mother was. I knew that threw me off. I can't remember. What's the kid's name?
Owen Mercer. But yeah, you get to see like two of the biggest, baddest like heroes in DC helpless. Superman can't figure out who it is.
Yep.
And Lois gets a note in the mail that's like, "You're next. We know who your husband is." And Jack Drake, Robin's dad, gets a gun in a box on his table.
Yep.
And it says, "Protect yourself" in it.
I loved what they did with the calculator.
Yep.
Like Oracle.
Yep.
Character.
That's $1,000 a question. Like, oh, that's 8,000. You don't get Luthor prices.
So Owen Mercer is the son of Captain Boomerang, and they're out throwing boomerangs, and he throws one and almost hits the original Captain Boomerang, and Owen runs and gets it. The mother is Melanie Thawne, so he's got the speed into things from the Reverse Flash side, and
Okay.
that's what I was trying to remember. This is just a great book.
It is. I love this book. I was excited when we said we were going to do Mystery Month, and this was going to be one of them, because I wanted to talk about it.
And there's actually a continuation of it in the later issues of JLA. I think it's like starts at like 125 and goes to the end of the run, but it addresses the whole Batman Mind Wipe part.
Oh, okay.
Which is a lot of fun.
Starts at what number?
I think it's 125.
125. All right, guys. What do we think? What do we give it? Well, we want to rate it. Besides that one panel.
That one panel's not enough for me to give it not a 5.
115, by the way. Sorry. Not 125, 115.
115. All right. Nick says a 5.
5.
Well, the art wasn't all that great. No, I'm going to give it a 5. It was going to be a 5, even if you guys didn't give it a 5.
The trade dress is nice, too, because it's got the colors of Elongated Man on the cover.
Yep.
So it's the black, the purple, and the white.
Yep.
And if you're not reading this and you're looking at his new suit, you're not going to get that. Like, because he's wearing around in his blue and red. And then there's like one or two that show him in the white and yellow, and like the white and purple. And it's just fantastic, like all the way through.
Yep. I didn't want to put it down. I kept having to force myself to put it down to go do other things.
There was when I was working at the store, we were reading this at the time, and I was talking to a customer about it, and we were talking about the ending, And we hear from the back of the store this girl go, "I haven't finished it yet." It's like, oh, I didn't know there was anybody in here.
I didn't know there was anybody else in the store. Sorry.
Spoilers. Sorry, it was Firestorm.
It was Captain America. Nobody saw it coming.
It's Shrinking Violet from the Legion of Superheroes.
So we all three of us highly recommend you pick up Identity Crisis.
Absolutely.
It's a fantastic, fun read. It's a great mystery.
And Batman fails to figure it out again.
Yep.
That's 2 months, two stories in a row.
And if you read Long Halloween and you read this one, you'll notice a similarity at the end. I'm not going to give it away, but I'm going to you'll notice a similarity. All right, moving on to our random reads section. What do you got for us this week, Ryan?
I read a lot. I don't know how I had so much time. I went through like 25 books. But
whoa, nicely done. You're keeping up with me.
How many?
About 25.
Holy shit, I read 3.
I kind of cut back this week. I read the 2 I needed to for the 3 that I needed for. And then, yeah, that was all I read this week.
I just found a rhythm and I went.
Nice. I love that when that happens. It's awesome.
So I've got 3 that I want to discuss. Actually, probably a 4th one if you guys are cool with this.
Oh, no.
No, please, no.
Come
we
on.
don't want to talk about comics.
Very well done, guys. All right. The first one is Big Man Plans by Eric Powell and Tim Weish. This, I can't even say it's fun because it's very violent.
All of Eric Powell's stuff is violent.
It is something else. He does the Goon, right?
Yeah, he does the Goon.
Yeah, okay. So this is a little person taking place in the Vietnam War time frame in early 70s and kind of goes through the 80s. And this guy just keeps on getting picked on because of his height and everything, and he goes back to his hometown, and they go back into the fact that he went into the Vietnam War. He was, I think they called them moles or whatever, where he went into the
tunnel rats.
Tunnel rats.
Tunnel rats. There you go.
So he went in the tunnels and took people out and things like that. But he has this set of ethics about him where he's very protective of certain individuals. And he gets a letter from a girl that he had a crush on and goes back to his hometown. It is just utter chaos from that point on. He's taking on anybody and everybody. And it's like these little kids that picked on him when he was a child. So now they're adults. They're the sheriff. These other individuals that just picked, and he goes to battle against all of them. He's got this military training. The person that patches him up is the school nurse, the only person that was ever nice to him when he was at the hometown. There's a couple of twists at the end that you didn't really see coming regarding his family. It's not for everybody. Absolutely not for everybody. But I've read it a couple of times now, and I did enjoy it. But again, it's pretty violent, and it's not for young readers, that's for sure.
From that, it reminds me of the Steve Buscemi when he's in the movie and he's got the to-kill list, and then Adam Sandler calls him and apologizes, and he just kind of writes his name out and then puts lipstick on.
Yep, crosses off a lipstick and then puts the lipstick on. Yep. I'm glad I called that guy.
People to kill. But even the cover's violent.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see the cover.
He's wearing a shirt. So he was drunk in an alley, and it was outside of a t-shirt company, and this guy got canned, and the shirt is showing a clown with a noose around its neck, and it says, "Hang in there."
That is awesome.
And
that's awesome.
The guy that created the shirt got fired. He's like, "Come on, it's kind of funny." And the guy that owns the company is like, "No, not at all. You're fired." So they threw these shirts out in the alleyway. And so through the whole book, he's wearing these shirts. And when he grabbed those shirts, he was laughing hysterically because he thought it was actually the humor in it. So there's little bits and pieces like that add a little bit of humor to it, but it is very dark. The next one is, there's no value to it at all. This is important to me because it took me 9 years to find this damn book.
Okay.
It's got personal value.
It's got personal value to you, so.
So, G.I. Joe America's Elite. I had every issue. I missed one issue, issue 25. I checked online. I was willing to pay the $40 at Mile High or whatever it would be. Nobody had it. Couldn't find it at all. Went down to a little mini con down in Lincoln this weekend and stopped at a shop I'd never stopped at, and they had this
Nice.
for $3.50. I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
I won't pay no more than $3.50.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how hard this book is to find. It was in the middle of the run, so it's not like it was at the end of the run where low print run or anything. The only thing I can think about on this is the beginning of a storyline called World War III, one of 12 issues, and it has a picture of all the Joes on it, front and back.
Oh, wow.
So pretty cool. Even
That
the
is
dead
cool.
ones.
Yeah. Even the dead ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're in ghost form. No,
So
I'm kidding.
Duke's there?
Duke's there. Quick Kick.
Let's name them all.
There is a little chart inside, and there's some of them that I don't even know exist.
Because Duke died in the movie.
Let's just see how many we can do on the cover.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Ryan.
Well, let me get it out here.
Excuse me.
It's been about 20, 30 years since I've watched G.I. Joe, but let's
Doesn't
do
have
it.
Rocky Balboa in it.
He was Cobra. The Cobra one is
No,
issue
that's
51.
Big Boa.
Big
But
Boa.
He
Oh,
was supposed to fight Rocky Balboa.
Oh, that's right.
Because Rocky was actually a member of G.I. Joe for like one issue.
It does have the fridge on it and Sergeant Slaughter.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's see. So we got Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Storm Shadow, Stalker, General Colton, Duke, Hawk, Lady J, Flint, Covergirl, Shockwave, Airtight, Mutt,
Ninja.
Law and Order. Oh,
Deep Six?
Is it Deep Six?
Mhm.
Deep Six. Fire guy.
Barbecue, Alpine, Lifeline,
Guy with a mohawk.
Bazooka, Roadblock, Fast Draw, Dusty, Doc, who died, all of Sergeant Slaughter's Goon Squad from the cartoon movie with Cobra Law, Psych Out, Sci-Fi. Oh, jeez, there's so many on here. The guy that nobody can remember his name, the stealth fighter, Flint. They're all here.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
They're
probably
all-
as far
you
as
know.
I'd get, too.
Outback, Airtight. I'm seeing, I can name a lot of them. Zap. And then there's some, like I said, they didn't wetsuit, that I didn't even remember were a part of this thing. It's kind of cool to look at that. And like I said, they got a little thing in here that shows you who's who.
I always wanted to know what G.I. Joe, what their ranks were. You know? Like, who outranked who, because, Duke was leader, but General Hawk was, like, just stuff like that I wanted to know, and it was like, a lot of these guys were, like, enlisted men. They weren't even officers.
Yeah, did they even have that on the file cards on the back? I know
Yeah.
they had ranks, but I don't know if they
They
had
did
like
have some of the,
like
some of them
the
did.
hierarchy of where they are, because like
Yeah, no, they didn't have
Snake
that.
Eyes is second in command or something like
Yeah,
that.
Snake Eyes was second in command of the whole Joe unit. It
Yeah.
was like, what about Flint?
How is he doing that? He can't
I thought-
talk. Why would
I
you
thought-
put a mute in the?
I thought Flint was the second in command, because Duke and Flint were always making the decisions on the cartoon. Anyway.
And then there's Hawk. Anyhow, so I read this and it brought back so many childhood memories. This is published in 2007, so it's not that old, but just the characters and the storyline and everything. I would say go out and find this because it's a fantastic. World War III is a great storyline. Good luck.
Good luck.
You want to pay $40?
It took me, like I said, like 9 years to get it. So I even got it marked on my comic shop. So if they get another one in, that I get notified about it. And I haven't seen a notification anytime recently. So, but yeah, definitely read it because the whole World War III thing was a blast.
Nice.
Then I have Ambush Bug, Nothing Special. This is by far the most dated book I have ever read.
It's so dated, I've never heard of it.
He's never done anything too much. He's had a couple of books, but they're all miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, he kind of has that whole Deadpool breaking the fourth wall thing before Deadpool had it. This is by Keith Giffen and Fleming. I can't think what his first name is, but through the whole book, Ambush Bug is trying to get a job, and they keep on referring to Keith Giffen and Fleming just drinking and not giving him anything to do in the comic. So he actually goes to battle with Julie Shorts and jumps in a time machine and goes forward in time to try to, because he was promised his job once Schwartz died. And he goes to the end of time, and there's a kind of like what's the Simpson knockoff?
Futurama,
yeah, where they got the heads in the bubble thing attached to a body, and Schwartz is still alive.
Okay.
So it was a fun read. I don't know if I would go out of my way to pick up any more Ambush Bug, but
Son of Ambush Bug is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, and that's what I was going for. I was trying to find something funny that I could enjoy, and just not a character that really speaks to me a ton. So there's that. The final one, last week we talked about Heroes in Crisis. Issue 9 came out.
Yep.
They sort of fixed it.
I read some stuff about it, yeah.
They sort of fixed it. I still was not happy with that at all, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I was expecting.
That leads into one of my articles I read this week.
So I think last week I said that because of that book alone, it dropped down to like a 2. I'd get it up to about a 3 now.
Okay.
So I just wanted to add that I did read that one, and I did keep on finishing it up. Give it a shot.
Completionist.
That's the worst thing about me, too. It's like,
I gotta finish
I gotta
this
have
run.
all of it.
I gotta finish it, even though I hated what they did last time.
Hey, I picked up Starman, what is it, Blackest Night, Starman 81 or whatever, just because I was missing that for the Blackest Night run.
Okay. But no, now you're gonna start your Starman line now? Just to finish that Star line?
I'm pretty okay without that. The only one I'm missing now is the Catwoman. And that one's going for like 50. And I'm like, I think I can live without that one. But that's what I had. I'm not going to go over all 25 books, but that's what I had.
All right.
Shit.
How about you, Nick?
All right, so
I've been excited about this. He wouldn't let Ryan see it.
let's do a Green Lantern riff.
Okay.
All right, so four little kids are at home with their dad and their mom.
This better not turn into a power pack. Oh!
Yeah!
So we're doing Power Pack number 1 just for Ryan. So 4 little kids at home with their family. They're having dinner, and they're all bitching at each other. Like, one's the smart kid, one's the dumb kid, one's the ass-kissing son, and one's the baby, right?
Yep.
Well, they hear on the radio, they hear out of space, there's a UFO being followed by other UFOs, right?
Yeah. You can see the daggers coming out of Ryan's eyes right now.
So
I'm okay with this, because this is the only time I have to deal with Power Pack. I'm good.
This is the only time we'll bring Power Pack up, because I wanted to do this on our special anniversary 12th episode. So
12th issue.
The only time we'll bring it. You know very well this is never going to die.
It's never
we're
going
to
to
do
die.
Power Pack number 2 next week. There's an alien, and he's running away from the Snarks. And he crash lands outside of their home. And the kids are out sleeping at night. They want to look at the stars and see if they can find the UFO. Well, they find it, and it's sitting in the beach outside of their house.
Okay.
And they decide to investigate, because it would take too long to get their dad up and ready. The UFO might disappear. So they go down and investigate, and inside is Beta Ray Bill. No, not Beta Ray Bill, but it's a different horse alien who really should be part of Beta Ray Bill's family. His name is Alfire Whitemane. So he's this white horse alien who has all these special powers. He can control density, he can control heat, he can control speed, he can control gravity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's dying, and the kids get attacked by the Snarks, and he saves the kids, puts them in a ship, and they get attacked again.
What?
And he gives the kids his powers.
Wow. Sounds like another story I've heard.
Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Nova?
Nova.
They find out that their dad is working on some antimatter matter generator to help the energy crisis, right? And the Snarks want it. But that same technology is what blew up Whitemane's planet. So he's here to stop the Snarks from getting that. But he's also like, maybe we should just let the Snarks have it so they'll go home and blow themselves up. But so he dies, the kids gain powers, and that's it.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is.
What do you give it, Nick?
I loved Power Pack as a kid, so I'm going to give it a 4.
Nice.
Okay, so reading this, it's from 84.
That's what I was going to say because
And
of the logo.
The commercials are probably the best part, like the advertisements. I mean, there's an Atari one. It's funny because it's like, ooh, Pac-Man. Oh, I'm going to home and play Pac-Man.
I'm going to go play Pac-Man. Yeah. My daughter's favorite game on the NES Classic, by the way.
There's an awesome advertisement from Cookie Crisp that you can get a free comic book, and it's
Looks like some good ones.
the first appearance of the black suit of Spider-Man.
What?
The time that Rogue joined the X-Men.
Okay.
Alpha Flight, Rom versus the Hulk, and a Fantastic Four.
Wow.
And it's like, well, you got 3 out of 5 good ones there
Yeah.
for free. Let's see. There's one that's in here that I think Kirk would really like. And the Marvel Tryout book, I still wanted that thing, but it was so damn expensive. Like, it's $12.95 here, but when I was looking for it in the 90s, yeah, forget about it. There is an awesome New Mutants one. It's Don't Call Them X-Babies Anymore, and it's the Demon Bear saga.
The one that they're making the movie out of?
God, if they could make a poster out of this, I would love it.
That's a pretty sweet
'Cause
ad
it's
right there.
Bill Sienkiewicz's art.
Yeah.
It's got them all there, and they're all just, yeah, it's awesome. And then, so you can get a subscription, this is awesome, to Iron Man for $6 for 12 issues at the time.
Wow.
Awesome. I love this book.
The ads are awesome.
That's the last time you'll have to hear me talk about Power Pack, Ryan.
I know it's not.
When's
It's
your
all
birthday?
right.
Oh, next month? It is. It's this month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody send in your issues of Power Pack, please.
So, I went a little lazy this week. I've been really into this latest run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, I've been reading on Comixology, trying to go through the free issues that they have on there. And it basically made me a fan of the book. So, I picked up issue 93, which I forgot to bring, which is the start of their City at War. Splinter is the head of the Foot Clan, and Shredder's granddaughter is trying to get control of the Foot Clan back, and so they go to war. And the last 2 issues have been built up to it. It's really good. The artwork, I kind of like the way the turtles look in these books. It's not as bad as the Nickelodeon show.
Oh, that's horrible.
That is horrible animation. I like how Splinter looks. This issue is basically one of their friends gets stabbed by Shredder's granddaughter at a peace summit. They decided to meet and talk about calling off the battle. And they stab it. And she stabs him. Guy has short hair. Thought it was a girl. Casey Jones and Raphael are going out, and they're like, no more of this, you know, being nice, and we're going to hit them before they hit us, and we're going to get them. And they have to go find a surgeon to save their friend's life, and they run into the cat guy. What's his name? Hob? And apparently I didn't read far enough because Hob and them are friends now.
Is that Mondo Gecko?
Yep.
Nice.
Mondo Gecko. And so they decide they're joining forces. The surgeon goes to help. Casey takes the surgeon to help. And they start battling. It looks like not foot soldiers, but the other person's group.
The Hellfire Guard?
That's what they look like.
They do.
They look like the Hellfire Club. But they break into... The whole mission was they had to go break into something Raph said he was in. And it's basically how they can mutate anybody now. And Hob is like... they're breaking in to steal it and destroy it so nobody can do that. And turn anybody into, you know, a mutant. And Donatello's not happy with breaking and entering... Raphael. Raphael's not happy with breaking in and stealing this stuff, but he was okay to kill people.
You have to draw the line somewhere.
You have to draw the line at thievery. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I highly recommend it. Cover art's pretty badass. And so, I completely forgot that this book came out this week, and I picked it up, and I'm intrigued. The story intrigues me. It's called Killer Groove by Aftershock, and it's got the little $3.99 tag on it, and I got pissed because I thought they put a price tag on the goddamn cover. I was like, God damn, oh, nope, that's part of it. It's like an old vinyl record store. So basically what it is this like old-time jazz musician in the beginning is sitting at home, smoking his cigarette, and these guys break in to try to steal whatever. They don't say what he's got. He just escapes, right? And then they cut to a guy. I'm going to assume that this takes place in like the 70s.
That's how I read it, yeah.
It's got like a serious 70s vibe going on to it because they talk about how he didn't want to go over to Nam.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And so it shows the guy playing his guitar at the bar, and his boss is like, "You done yet? Good. I'll get to work." So it shows him working, giving out drinks, counting up his money at the end of the night. And then he leaves. He's working at the Troubadour, I guess, which is a very well-known concert club. And he comes upon this guy. All you hear is, "You motherfucker." And he's fighting. There's these two guys fighting in the alley. And, looking at it now when I'm reading it, I kind of knew that guy in the jacket was shady. He looked like a mobster. 70s mob guy. Looked like Robert De Niro from Goodfellas. So the guy pulls a gun on the mob guy, and he beats him over the head with his guitar to stop him. And then the guy comes after him, and he grabs a knife and stabs him in the neck. And he doesn't react like most normal human beings do. Like, oh my God, I just killed somebody. What the hell am I going to do? My life's over. Nope. He's just like, I owe you a cup of coffee. Okay. And they go and have a cup of coffee. And so they find out that they're both Sicilian. And, he's like, yeah, I'd kill people for a living. And he pays him off with some money and gives his name and number. So he, if he ever wants to do any more work. And he goes home and he writes the greatest song that he's ever written. So I kind of know where the story's going now. He decides he's going to go record it, and then it cuts to a scene with a typical smarmy teenager, little kid from the 70s smoking cigarettes. Looks like she got the shit kicked out of her. Dad hasn't come home for like 3 days. And I think it's this social worker is going to have a big to-do in the book, so I think that's why they dedicated.
I think she's more of a detective than a social worker.
Oh, yeah, she's a PI. That's right. She's a private investigator. And the guy tries to record the song, but it doesn't sound as good as it did the other day after he killed somebody. So he used all his money to record it, and he's got to get money to come back. So guess what? He decides to go call the mobster, and he's at a Toyland store. And then it cuts to the PI and her grandpa, or uncle is the guy in the beginning that was being chased by the hoodlums.
No, the reason, to the hitman guy or whatever he was, the reason he gave him a card and said, "Hey, if you want any more work," is because he didn't have a reaction.
Yeah, he didn't have a reaction.
That's why he's like, most people are shaking by now. You're fine.
You're
Look
fine.
at you.
You're like, damn, I killed somebody. Okay, time to eat.
Yeah.
I'd be puking my guts out.
It was a very intriguing story. I'm very interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, I was like, I want to see where this goes. I'm like, can only play good music when he kills someone.
It reminds me of another book. I think it's Sex is what the book was.
Sex!
And anytime this guy or this girl orgasms, they go into this other land type thing, and they can go, like, time stops, and they can go rob banks and stuff like that. It kind of reminded me of that story a little bit.
Huh. Yeah, I'm liking where the story's going.
Oh, Sex Criminals, excuse me.
Sex Criminals? Okay.
Sex Criminals. Yeah, I like where the story's going, and I'm going to be interested to see what happens with it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the second one to come out.
So I haven't read it yet, but it sounds like he's a mix of characters from John Cusack movies.
Yes.
Like if you took the guy from Gross Point Blank and High Fidelity and put them together.
Yep, that's what it said. Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love music, but I also love killing people.
I highly recommend Killer Groove. Ryan's kind of got me into the whole Aftershock thing, so
I read a lot of Aftershock this time around.
the few that I've read with Aftershock, I really liked. Mm-hmm. So, got anything else? Anybody? Like I said, I only read 3 books this week. So, okay. So, piggybacking on a story that Ryan told us last week about Marvel having Green Lantern kissing his boyfriend on the cover. Marvel number 1000 is no longer going to have that cover. They're yanking it because they found out they had DC art.
Can't believe a Marvel person missed that completely. It was a variant cover anyhow, but
Yeah, I was telling Nick, I was like, oh man, I wish they hadn't caught it until like they put it out. That way we could have got it, and that would have been worth a lot of money.
Yep.
Because it's a misprint. It's like, was it Metallica's Ride the Lightning album? There's like 4,000 copies in a green cover instead of the blue cover, and the green cover is worth like upwards of almost 15 grand.
Wow.
If you have one. So, yeah, so I thought that was these actually, 2 of these have to do with Ryan this week. The other one is Tom King promises that Wally West is primed for big things. He sees him as Peter Parker, the Peter Parker of the DCU, and...
See, I would disagree.
Yeah?
Dick Grayson is the Peter Parker of DC.
I agree. But this is just what this guy said.
It's Tom King, dude. You're right, Batman. You should know this.
Yeah. But
he writes Batman, not Nightwing.
He said he was hoping that Not Identity Crisis. What was it?
Heroes in Crisis.
Heroes in Crisis.
Infinite Crisis. Crisis on Infinite Earths.
There's too many infinites with the DC universe.
There's too many crises.
There's only 2 crises too. He says that he hopes that this story has made it to where it brings big things for Wally West's character, like maybe his own book now, where it would have his own run, because he feels he could carry his own run.
He's been building towards that for a while because Wally is the only individual before the Watchmen showed up to be kind of involved with seeing the Watchmen when he was running through time or something. So yeah, he's kind of had a thing for Wally for a bit now.
Seems like it. He talks very highly of him.
And I get it. I think Tom King's probably at that age where Wally was his Flash. Wally's my Flash. I like Barry a lot better, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, with the interactions with Wally and Kyle and that kind of stuff, I do enjoy
Barry's my Flash. So, yeah, I can see. It's kind of like who's your doctor.
Yeah.
From Doctor Who.
But I really think, I could see something good coming from it if the right person picks it up and runs with it. No pun intended.
These the jokes. So, anything else? I've got a list, but I want to know if you guys have anything this week.
I got a couple of things.
Okay.
All right. So I did go to that mini-con down in Lincoln this last weekend, put on by the Last Starfighter group. And Lee Bachman was there. He does a lot of He-Man art. So I picked up a couple of prints from him.
Nice.
That were really cool. He called it the one print was the B-list characters, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's still a fantastic page because they're talking about Snake Eyes earlier. Snake Eyes was listed on, or a picture of him was on there.
Yeah.
The Prowler from Transformers was on there. Battle Cat was on there. A couple of Hanna-Barbera characters that I'm blanking on their names. Yeah, it was just an awesome print. But he's like, this is what I call my B-list team. I'm like, Snake Eyes isn't really
Snake
B-list.
Eyes
He's like the most
really
popular
isn't
G.I.
B-list,
Joe.
and neither is Prowler.
If you have more than 2 lines in a show, you're not B-list.
You're not B-list.
Well, I can give Prowler as a B-list just because, most people think Transformers are thinking Optimus Prime or Bumblebee. They don't think Prowler. Not nearly as common.
They didn't watch the cartoon show then.
And then, so we picked up a couple of pages from him, prints from him. Tank Zombies were there, and they do this fun cartoon stuff. My son got a Winnie the Pooh where the alien is coming out of the Winnie the Pooh.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
My wife picked up a Deadpool hanging out with a My Little Pony for whatever reason. I don't know. She liked it.
He likes to ride unicorns, so it makes sense.
I got a really cool Green Lantern symbol print that was just amazing. The OMUG guys, that Badass Trucker Lenny Vernon was down there. Talked to them for a little bit. So it was a neat little con, and like I said, I think I picked up 4 books that I was missing. That G.I. Joe America's Elite was one of them, and it was just a good old time, and it sounds like they're going to continue to do this and definitely go. So
it'll be like the first Saturday of the month, or is it?
It sounds like it's going to be more like a maybe twice a year type deal.
That's fine. That's
cool.
But
this Last Starfighter group, all these little, so it's like Make Eternia Great Again podcast, Covert Nerd podcast, and then those other 3 that I mentioned are all part of this group, and they just kind of do all their own marketing and stuff like that. And it was just a good time. And the shop owner at Rainbow Comics was fantastic. He was doing deals all throughout the day, so it was a really good time and a lot of fun.
Cool.
So that was the first thing, and then I don't remember what the second thing is. So that's what I got.
That's what you got
for right now.
Anything for you?
I got nothing.
Got nothing?
Nope.
I actually got two more things. I watched Batman Begins again for the first time, and I have to say, again for the first time, yeah, that sounded really lame. I watched it again for the first time in a long time is what I meant to say.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite Batman. Just because it shows him in the prison at the beginning, and he's like, your practice, and he just starts whipping ass on all these guys. And then I really like Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
So the Arrow guy kind of doesn't do it for me in the TV universe.
Right.
He kind of is like, It has Joey from Dawson's Creek in it, so I had a big crush on Joey back in the day, so I love that Katie Holmes was in it. I liked her better as Rachel Dawes than Maggie Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I could watch that one over and over again. The other ones I'm like, Dark Knight, I've loved Heath Ledger as the Joker, but I've only seen it like once. And The Dark Knight Returns, I've only seen once. But yeah, if you want to reminisce, see a good Batman movie, go back and watch Batman Begins, guys. Alright, last thing. I got a top 10 list for you guys. I think this should become a good part of the show where I love lists. We should make a list of our own one day. Alright.
Maybe we'll do that for Green Lantern month. We'll do like top 10 Green Lanterns.
We should.
Done.
He's already done. He's got them.
Nort, Chip, Aricia.
All right. So I was on
Mogo.
I was on Facebook and I was reading an article from a comic site, whatever that CBR one.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading an article from that one and I flipped down and it had the 10 most powerful evil gods in the Marvel universe. Okay? I knew you guys would love this one. Okay? Number 10, Enchantress. Let me read them and then you guys can go through and bash them. Number 9 is Ares. Number 8 is Loki. 7 is Hades. 6 is Hela. 5 is Mephisto. I don't know how to pronounce this one. It's Chthon. Chthon. Thanos at number 3. So this must have been done recently. Number 2 is Kull. And number 1 is Chaos King. Nick's looking confused like he's never heard these people before. Or he doesn't agree with the list.
I'm just curious, what was their argument on Chaos King being number 1?
I don't remember. It was something about I don't remember. It was just, it has something to do with them being Japanese and...
I've never read anything with Chaos King in it.
Me either. That's why I didn't understand why. I've never read anything with Kull or this Chthon. So,
how do you spell it? Chhaton?
Chthon. He was like
what was
the
the
first.
title of this?
It was the 10 most powerful evil gods in Marvel. Apparently he was the first.
Yeah, this was published on May 18th of 2019.
I've stumped Nick.
Oh, that's the thing. I've got to look up a couple of these too.
My 2 encyclopedias and I've stumped them. I rule! Well, I know what 9 and 10 are going to be.
Okay. That's shit. It's got a lot of history in for Chthon.
Wow. Yeah, there's something there. Wow. Okay, where do you want to start, Nick?
Okay. What? Okay. Chthon has like 85 pages on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ. He has been
Was I
involved
right?
with everything.
Was I right
Everything.
that he was like a magician or something like that?
So he starts out in the 1940s, and he deals with Marvel Boy. Then he deals with the Puppet Master from Fantastic Four. Then he deals with Jessica Drew. Then he deals with Werewolf by Night. Then he goes to the Knights of Wundagore, which is in the Avengers. Then he messes with the High Evolutionary. Then Wanda Maximoff. Then he deals with, Jesus Christ, the Wizard, Miss America. Then he's Nuclo, and then Quicksilver, Spider-Woman, Doctor Strange.
Oh, wow.
Iron Man, the Brothers Grimm, Quicksilver, Viper, then the Serpents, then Carnage, then Eddie Brock, John Jameson. Jesus fucking Christ, this dude's been through Marvel Universe like history, and it's like, why don't I know about him?
Why don't we know who he is?
Part of it, I pulled up the article, and it does say that, let's see, Chthon has continued to influence matters on Earth. The first vampires were created by his powers He also touched a baby girl intended to use her as a future vessel, and that girl grew to become
Captain Marvel.
Scarlet Witch.
So-
Scarlet Witch.
He is one of the most powerful elder gods and the master of dark and chaos magic. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
Okay.
I mean, I've
Um,
seen him. I just never,
He's always in the background.
Yeah.
He's not, yeah.
like, he's just, yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I love it. This is a first for me. I'm enjoying this.
So yeah, he was created in 75, but his story goes way back.
to
Way
like
back.
you said, to the 40s.
So, wow.
So yeah, that adjusts how I've seen this.
Okay.
I'm good. Fuck, Cthon, number 1. All time. I mean, his history just reads like the history of Marvel. It's insane. Even with the elder gods from Egypt, he was back with them. So it's like,
Okay.
he holds the dark hold. I mean, yeah.
So Chthon's number 1 for Nick.
I'd agree with that.
Okay.
I'd agree with that. See, I think Mephisto would be up a little bit higher for me.
Okay, so number 1 is Chthon.
Yeah, I would put, okay, Cull? Is that,
Yeah.
Is it Cull or is it Cul?
It's Cul. Was an older brother of Odin and became an all-father and ruler of Asgard following his father's death. Was already bitter, putting the fear of gods into giants and reeling from the loss of the love of his life. He used his title as All-Father to spread fear throughout the 9 realms, becoming a very evil Marvel god. He was eventually defeated and overthrown. However, like all evil gods, he would not remain down, returning during the Fear Itself crossover, which if you have not read that, good for you.
yeah, I was going to say he has something to do with fear itself. Just leave it alone.
I haven't-
Let's put him at 10.
So outside of his powers as Asgardian god, also has powers to manipulate magic and feed upon the fear of others to gain power himself. As long as people fear, he develops limitless power levels. So he's like Sinestro.
Okay.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
So,
10.
10.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 1 and 10.
Ares is a punk. So we'll leave him around 9.
See,
I hate Ares.
You hate Ares? All right.
I'm having a problem because there's an Ares in DC as well,
Right.
and I'm having a kind of trying to.
This is the Dark
Differentiate.
Avenger
Yeah.
Ares.
Yeah, he's yeah. I'd leave him a little bit lower.
Okay. I know where I'd put Thanos, but that's just me.
See, like, we're thinking, like, new Thanos, but if you think old Thanos, he, probably around 7.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He got beat by Dazzler.
Yep.
He got turned to stone.
He got beat by Squirrel Girl.
Right. So, this is before MCU, so, which I'm thinking of.
Okay.
He was constantly getting beat by the original Captain Marvel. He was originally constantly getting beaten by Adam Warlock.
Silver Surfer.
Everything they've
Rocket
got on here
Raccoon
is
probably would beat him.
a reference to stuff that's currently happening.
Right.
So
I put him up in around 7.
Okay. What about you, Ryan?
I'd put him right about there too.
We got Ares. We got Hades. No, we don't have Hades
We
yet.
don't have Hades yet.
Chthon, Thanos, Cole.
Chaos King doesn't sound like anything. I'm reading this and I'm like, wow, I'm
Yeah.
more scared of everybody else on this list.
Yeah, I agree.
So Chaos King number 10 then?
He even killed Zeus, so that shows range of his powers.
So that's going to bump Cole to 9 and
Right.
Ares to 8.
I'm okay with that, yeah. But that's just lack of knowledge of reading anything with him too. So there's-
Okay. Just 1 second.
he could be a massive badass for all I know.
I know where I want to put Loki, and not just because of the...
So where are we at?
We've got 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
I think oh boy.
Okay, I would put Mephisto as number 2,
I would agree with that.
right?
I thought he
Um,
should be higher, 2 or 3.
I'm reading...
Hela would be number 3 for me.
See,
Doctor-
that's where I was kind of flipping back and forth.
I'm
Hela
reading
was-
Doctor
Right.
Strange right now, and Mephisto just made a deal with Galactus.
See, I think Mephisto just has a bigger realm.
Yeah.
Hela just has Valhalla, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, then Hades. Hades or Loki?
Loki.
Okay.
Because
Loki,
when
Loki at number 4, that's where I was going to put him.
Yeah.
because I mean when you think
He did get turned into a tree, though.
Thor got turned into a frog.
It's true. Then we have Enchantress and Hades.
I go Enchantress and then Hades.
That's what I do. And it's also for the stockings too, so that's always good.
Okay. So our list is wildly different than yours.
Well, the thing with CBR is they're looking at stuff from now.
And we're
And-
going off of what we've read.
Right. So they're looking at what's been hot, what's been like the last 5 years, maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Depends on how young that writer is too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really tell sometimes who's writing that stuff.
All right, we've got number 1, Chthon. Number 2, Mephisto. 3, Hela. 4, Loki. 5, the Enchantress. 6, Hades. 7, Thanos. 8, Ares. 9, Kull. And 10, the Chaos King.
And 11, the third Summers brother.
And you know what? We'd love to hear your top 10. So leave us why don't you leave us a comment on our page, or leave us a little message on Twitter. That'd be great. So we can have a little discussion. I think we should do these top 10 lists to do a little discussion.
I love top 10 lists.
See if we can get people to actually, start responding to us, just try different things.
All right, so what should we do for our first one? This one? Or should we make our own list?
We should probably make our own list, and then I can put it up on the Twitter page.
Okay. List of what?
We could just do this one.
Top 10 ducks in Disney. Go.
We could just we can start with this one, and then we'll try to think of something else.
We could do the top 5 ducks in comic history.
Yeah.
Daffy wins.
Destroyer Duck.
Oh.
Disco Duck.
Howard.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Just want to start with this one first?
Sure.
All right. So I'll put this up
we'll have to think about it, like maybe
probably tomorrow, and we'll think about another list.
Yep.
Okay? Anybody got anything else this week?
No, good.
Good? How about you, Ryan?
No, I'm good.
All right, so you can reach out to us on our Twitter page at the It's Too Wordy 1. Give us a little donation to our Patreon page at Patreon/House of BTS. You can also email us with your questions or comments at the It's Too Wordy comic book podcast at yahoo.com. So that's it for this week. Read more comics, have fun, and we'll see you later. This has been Kirk.
Nick.
Ryan.
Bye, guys.
See ya.